Hi, welcome to the Building Kajabi with GPT Assist series. In the first episode, we looked at the capabilities and what it is we're trying to build within Kajabi. In this episode, we're going to go ahead and start creating pages, a sitemap, navigation, and we'll also develop a GPT which will guide us along the way through this tutorial series. Now let's start building our website. So if we click over on the website button here, you'll be presented with this area called pick a template. Now there are 4 things that you might want to know about this. You can pick a template that's free to use from Kajabi. You can go and use one of their older legacy templates. You can go to the template store where you can buy premium templates, but you can also upload your own templates. Now, if you want to use a premium template with Kajabi, it's fairly easy. You can come over to the store and you're presented with this menu item called Custom Templates. From here, at the moment, there's 26 templates that you can pick. You just have to purchase them and then you can upload them. Remember, you can upload from other providers as well. But coming back to the design area, we'll click on pick a template. We're in the template store, and what you can do is pick one of the free templates available from Kajabi. There's also some legacy templates down the bottom that you can also choose. Now, when choosing a template from the store, here are a couple of things to consider. You can either select a template based off something that you like, but the reality is all of these templates are pretty much the same except for layout. So then it becomes a case of what else should be the deciding factor when you pick a template. This first one here called Rise happens to be the one that my mentor Alec from One Tech uses, and if we just click through to his website, it looks something like this. And I'm going to suggest that you take a look at what his business is about. I'm currently following his Kajabi Accelerator course as I learn to build a Kajabi website for myself. There's some great information there, and you can find an affiliate link in the description. But one of the other things that you might want to consider is that if all of those templates are pretty much the same except for layout, then picking something that's very simple and ready to be styled from scratch might be a better alternative. I've done my research and worked out that Streamlined House is the one that I want to start with today. So we'll come over and we'll click on Streamlined House and we get a little picture of what it's going to look like, and we'll just click on Getting Started. It's currently installing the template for us. Our template is set up and it's also considered live, so you can actually see this from the internet. But you'll see we've got a home page here and you've got little buttons that allow you to see the pages that have been set up. So we have our library, our member directory, and announcements. The next couple of pages haven't been set up yet. That's the blog post, the search, and the thank you. But moving forward, we've got a login page and a page not found. Lastly, we have the store. If you want to preview this site, we can either click on preview, which is the standard way to do it. But if we click on site settings, what we'll find is that all the settings for our site are here, and one of them happens to be this URL. And this is what it'll be publicly until such time as you set up the DNS. And we'll do that in another video. Whether you take a copy of the domain name here, or if we click back on website, we should be able to go directly to preview mode. We'll be taken to a version of the website that's up and running. Here's our store, and we can click on the library and the contact, and we even have access to settings and logging out up here. Now with the template in place, what we can do is click on Customize, and you'll be taken to each of the individual pages that you want to edit are made available to you via a drop down. So we're currently on the home page, and you can see these are the different layouts of the elements that are available to us. If we wanted to look at something simple like the page not found, we click on 404 here and we'll be given this very simple page with a navigation item at the top and page not found in the middle. Now moving back to the home page, our next consideration should really be what pages do we want to have on the website. I think we better have a look at what we're actually trying to build and maybe even bring some GPT in the mix to build up a sitemap so that we can move forward. In the last video, we had a plan of action, and it was to build out AppyDave, a bunch of courses, masterclasses, consulting, and various brands around what I'm doing. In the past, I've had a website called AppyDave. Pretty simple, stylish at the time, about 6 years ago, and it was done in Hugo, which is a static site generator. It's known for being very fast and it's free to use. So it was been good for the last 6 years. But the problem is that I'm now a content creator. I want to create courses that I can market, and this is not a platform in which you could really build a business. At this stage, I think it might be useful to create a GPT that works with Kajabi. The goal, I think, would be to help me develop my branding, my content, my site structure, but do it from a Kajabi point of view, which means it should understand concepts like courses, memberships, and other sorts of products. What I'll do is I'll copy all the information that it's given me. This is going to make great context information for a new custom GPT. So we right click, press copy, head over to my GPTs. I have a lot of GPTs that I usually take a fair bit of time to create. This one's going to be a quick build because I just want to use it and then throw it away, though I may make it available as a link for you to use yourself. What you've got here is this ability to configure it or create it. Today we'll use the create, and I'm just going to paste in all the information I've got there, press enter. And what it's doing is reading all this information and figuring out the instructions and the title and maybe even the image that we want to go with this custom knowledge bot or GPT agent. So it's returned with great choice. How about naming it Kajabi Site Helper? I think we'll just go with yes for that. So we want some sort of nice image to go here. And so we've got this image created. It's not really what I would go with if I was publishing this to the GPT store. I would improve it, but this is a temporary bot for now, so let's go with that. We could start testing the bot down in the right-hand side here. We can also look at the configuration where we've got the name, the description, and instructions about what it's going to do. There's also 4 conversation starters that it's set up that you can just click on when you come to this bot for the first time. Now, to use this bot, we really want to load it up with information about the website we're trying to build. So if we head back over to our mind map, we can see we've already got a bunch of context that if we clicked on it and pressed Command C, we could come back and just paste it in, and all that information in a hierarchy. So coming back to this, we will drill into this information a little bit and expand on it. So we already seen the old website. The idea is that we're building a Kajabi website and it has capabilities. And those capabilities were pretty much derived from the menus that are available within Kajabi. So we've got marketing where we can do an email list, funnels, and landing pages. We've got products. So for me, it'll be courses. There'll also be coaching, but you can also do community and podcasts. Then we go into sales, where you can bundle up your products into offers. You've got coupons and affiliates, and the website. And this is one of the areas that we're really trying to work on right now, is coming up with a sitemap. I know I'm going to need contact information, people that want to give me testimonials, so I should list that. There's definitely an affiliate link concept that I should do, because most of my videos, there are products or courses that I use, and I want to have a page for that. I want to create an article for each video and have different sections within my blog. Going more into detail about courses, which we did talk about in products, we're going to need to create titles, thumbnails, descriptions, and pricing. This is where a lot of GPT work will come in. So definitely the title, the description can be done in GPT. The thumbnail, that could be done in DALL-E 3. Moving on to the last area, which is all about the capabilities of Kajabi. We'll have affiliate programs, setting up settings, really, so the banking, connecting of social accounts, Google Analytics, setting up my incorporation, and other sorts of settings that are going to be needed. So that area of our context is really about what's going to be available for our GPT to use, because outside of this scope is not really relevant for what we're doing today. But then there's a case of what is it we want to talk about. It's AppyDave, and my business is really centered around some courses. The courses that I'm thinking of building is a general ChatGPT course. There'll be one using the OpenAI API so that you can automate your GPTs. Then there'll be the agents. So we're in the middle of writing an agent right now, being the Kajabi agent, but I have plenty of agents across YouTube automation, around tutorial bots, and then Fly Video is a little SaaS application that I'm looking to develop. to automate this video creation that I'm doing at the moment. One of the other areas that I'll be marketing over time is some sort of masterclass or an academy, and that'll probably be around GPT because it's the area that I love working in. The last two nodes here in the mind map are consulting. I do plan to do a little bit of consulting over Zoom. If I do it locally in Brisbane, Australia, then I'll probably need a Google profile and Google Maps. And then there's the brands, YouTube channels that I'm developing, the main ones being AppyDave and AppyCast, but there's also others that I'm looking to develop, and they should all be centered around this one website. Coming back to our Kajabi site helper GPT, I've taken all the information from the mind map and I've just put it into the field. And then we'll use text-to-speech to write a very simple prompt to go with that information. The information presented below is the capabilities of Kajabi plus the details about my website that I want you to store. Can you just record it and say yay? And what we do is we just fix up a little typo there. I like saying yay because I don't want it to interpret what I'm saying. I just want it to store the information. And it said yay. Your website details for AppyDave have been recorded successfully. This includes information about your courses, masterclass, cash flow, website structure, consulting services, and brand elements. This will be helpful for further discussions when planning regarding your Kajabi website. So we are ready to move forward. Now time to develop a sitemap for the AppyDave website, and we can use the Kajabi GPT helper to build this for us. So the idea of a sitemap is to develop a structure for your website. At the moment, we've got all these pages that have been set up. We've got the home page, the contact page, library, and member directory. And you'll notice that they're linkable in the main menu just here. We've got the store, the My Library, About Us, and Contact. Also down in the footer, there should be a couple of other menu items. We've got My Library and Store again. So this is the sort of information that makes up a sitemap. The reason it's called a map is that it can be multiple levels of menus. So if we go down here and we look at something like, say, the blog is a page with a list of blog posts, but the blog posts are underneath the blog. I'm going to have multiple courses. That's going to be under a page called courses, because I'm going to have services like consulting. That'll be under a different sort of page. So what we're trying to do is develop that structure. The way we can do that is we can take the information that we put into our mind map. We got masterclass and we've got two concepts here. We've got some courses, we've got multiple concepts here. We've got various brands, the different YouTube channels that I want to go to, and the consulting. We've already got a lot of structure that we've already given to the GPT bot. Now, on top of the ideas for the sitemap that I've already talked about, there's also the pages that are already set up for this Kajabi website. We have home, contact, library. Well, we're in the Kajabi GPT and I've got, can you give me a basic site structure that might fit with the information provided? And the information is all the information from the mind map. Can you keep in mind that Kajabi has already set up the following pages? And what we'll do is we'll just paste in this information and press go. Let's come up with a pretty good first pass. We've got the basic structure for AppyDave. We've got a home page, and within this it said courses, masterclass, consulting. If we go back to the original design, we have these three amazing features section, which we could fill in directly with this sort of information when we're ready to do that. I'll probably expand on this in a different conversation. Moving on, we've got about, courses, masterclass. I'm not really ready to do the masterclass, so what I'm going to do is say, can you remove masterclass? There might be others that we want to remove. We've got consulting, a blog, a store. We'll keep store, resources, and community. We'll remove community because I will do that using Discord or Facebook. Then there's contact, member area, support, announcements. Probably get rid of announcements as well. And I've just put this little prompt, store in a simple bullet point hierarchy with minimal detail, because there's way too much information in here for me to feed back into my mind map, which is where I really want to use this information. We now have a simplified structure for the AppyDave website. It's quite readable. I've just asked it to put it in a markdown format. I then had to say with multi-level bullet points. So we've got that information here, and we'll copy that. We'll come over to our mind map. I'm just going to paste that information in as a tree. And this is now a better structure. It's flat from the point of view of the main menu, but it also has all the details that we've been talking about. And I can now start transferring information backwards and forwards from the Kajabi website to the Kajabi GPT as I develop more and more content. Now I've just manually relaid out the pages that I've got. You can see here that we've got 13 pages. I am going to build these pages in this session, but what I think we should do is quickly go through the ideas and think about what type of page they will be. It might be important to also look at the navigation, and this way we can get a proper sitemap. At the moment, this is more just the structure of the site. It will be a sitemap as soon as it has a bit of depth. And the sitemap is then going to be really useful both for the navigation so that it's very easy to get through the website, but also for SEO so that Google and other search engines can find your information. Moving forward, the obvious one is the homepage, and the homepage is where I'll have some sort of tagline, a hero message, and different things that I'm talking about in blocks, courses, and services. There'll be a list of courses. I've got 3 that I'm thinking of developing at the moment. Products will probably be cheat sheets and prompt engineering guides, that sort of stuff. They may be on the site, they may actually be on Etsy. We'll see over time. Then there'll be the service offerings. Now, mostly it's going to be consulting. Have some information for where people can book. We'll look at projects. So these are really pet projects of mine. One's a programming language for GPT, and one is YouTube automation for content creators. They're really just follow me as I build projects. They're not actual products that I would sell. It's a major area that I find interesting to work on. Then there'll be a blog, and a blog's an obvious part, and this will probably bring a lot of the other stuff together. When I'm talking about projects, there'll definitely be categories around the pet projects that I'm working on. Maybe different brands where I put information out for different niches. So YouTube automation comes through here. I might put the prompt engineering guides through Winning Prompts. There'll definitely be some sort of store. I don't know that it'll be up on the top level navigation. It'll probably be back behind at landing pages. And then there's the different resources that I want to offer, like free guides or various tools. As a content creator, there's always little tools that I need just as part of my normal day-to-day process. I want to make them available through my tools section. Then there's the ability to contact me or find out a little bit about who I am. And there'll be a sign-in area, the member area. We've already seen that the login and the 404 are being created by Kajabi. Now, just coming back to 2 areas, which is courses and products, it'll also be interesting to note that these won't be normal web pages like the homepage. So the homepage will have top-level navigation, or have footer navigation, or have a drop-down. But these are all going to be landing pages, because the idea of this is for people to potentially purchase. A standard landing page doesn't have navigation. This will happen a lot for these 7 items. There may be a few others in the sitemap. Let's take a moment to talk about slugs, or the URLs that we want for each of our pages. Now, slugs are an important part of the search engine optimization for your website. They're quite simple in nature, and the way they work is that you might have a domain name, and then there'll be a topic, and that's called a slug. So all of this area is part of the slug. We have a major topic, we might have a subcategory, and then we definitely have a page name. There's only one time where none of this exists. When you're on a home page, what you would see, just a slash. When we go to About Us, that might be the title that we have on the page, but the slug might just be /about. And then when it comes to blog, we might not want to use the concept of blog. We might want to use something like news and set the title to news. And now that we know what slugs are, let's have a look at our sitemap. And the sitemap now has a root slug, which will be for the home page. And then we've got courses, products, services. I didn't name my projects as projects. I went with pet projects. And as we come to blog, there's this decision I need to make. Now, I'll probably go with articles. We'll see over time. So I might just delete them for now, but I could go with news as well. For the page that represents my store, I'll probably call it shop. And then we'll have resources, contact, about, and members. Now, using the site structure that we've just developed, it might be time to start creating some web pages. We've come over to the website, we're on design, but if we click on pages, we're going to have the ability to work with the system pages or create new pages. Now, things like the system pages are always available in Kajabi. You don't have to have them enabled on your site, but they're always there. And there's one limitation that you need to be aware of. So when we go into the store, we've got this URL and the slug is set to store. Now, we did talk about calling this shop, and you can't do that directly from this page. There are other techniques, and we might look at that a bit later. What we'll do is just bring up our sitemap over here on the right, and we have our home page. We have courses, which will be a brand new page, and we'll be able to use the new page button to change that. If we look through at the articles and the store, I might just undo this. So let's just call that store, and we'll call that one blog. And that's keeping it in alignment with the system pages. Later on, we'll look at how we can change that. Let's create our first 4 custom pages. So we'll go with courses, products, services, and pet projects. In the pages area, we'll click on the new page button, and we'll just type courses and press customize page. And you'll have a sample page all set up. We'll just click on the first element here and just change its text to courses for now. We'll hit the save button. If we just go and repeat this for the other 3, products, services, and pet projects. We'll click the back button. And so now we have 4 new pages added to the system. They've all been published. We'll just go to the first one and copy the URL. And if we open that up in a new browser, we'll see that we've got our standard heading and just the word pet projects. We haven't hooked up any navigation yet, so there's no other way to get to it other than via the URL, but we'll do that soon. Now, I've gone through the pages that we've got listed here, and a few of them are custom in nature, others are system, but they're all in place. We have 18 on the Kajabi website. We've got 13 listed in our mind map. So these are the ones that we want to make public. Let's just see what they look like right now. Here we are at the home page. The home page hasn't been altered just yet. It's got a navigation down the bottom, a navigation at the top. If you click on the logo, it'll refresh the page and keep it on the home URL. Looking at the first 4 courses, products, services, and projects, we should just be able to click through. Notice it's got courses here, products, services, and pet projects. When we move on to blog, it'll have a page not found, and that's because we haven't actually created any blog entries in the system. As we move on to the other 6 pages, we've got a store. When we go to resources, there was already a system page for that, so I've just left that the way it is for now. We've got contact, about, and the member dashboard. One of the things I noticed is that the URL is member dashboard/members. Lastly, we've got login. Let's have a look at the navigation section and how we get to each of the slugs. So let's figure out how we're going to structure this website from a menu point of view. So we'll just minimize this and we'll open up some new areas called navigation. And within the navigation, there'll be a master menu that'll be along the top of the page, a footer menu at the bottom, and then there's the drop down. We need to create a bunch of menu items. So let's just go and paste in a bunch of ideas that we've already developed. Now, I'm using the mind map rather than Kajabi at the moment because it's so easy to iterate on ideas. Let's take the first 3 menu items, which take me to courses, products, and services. I think that's the most important area that I want people to go to. So it probably should be in the main menu or the master menu. Things like my pet projects, they're not really a marketing thing. They're not something I'm trying to sell. They're just something I'm talking about. They might end up being in the blog and we might leave it there, or they could go down in the footer menu. We'll leave it there. And notice how I can just move things from area to area pretty quickly in a mind map, which makes it so much simpler when we go over to Kajabi. For the footer area, I think the resources, the contact, and the about us make a whole lot of sense in there. So we'll just drop that in here. And now we've got to figure out where to put the blog. Now, blogs normally would go in the main menu, so we'll put it there. being aware that if your main menu gets too detailed, too complex, it becomes a little bit of a put off. Hopefully we can keep it at 4. Then we've got the store and the member area. Now the member area is pretty easy to work out because there is a drop down that's available when you signed in. That can sit there. And lastly, the store. For now, I'm going to put it in the footer menu. I don't know where it's going to be, but this gives us a pretty good starting point for the menu for the website. Now we've defined our primary navigation for the main menu, the footer and the drop down. I've now added in a home page, and one of the things to realize with the home page is it's another area where navigation happens, but rather than being called menu items, they're often called sections. So we'll type in sections, and what we'll do is just paste in the information we had earlier, basically all the major pages that we've got, and we can move them into sections within the home page. Let's go and have a look at a home page to see what we're talking about, both with sections and with these navigation items. Here we are at the home page. We've got a logo, and there would be a link to the home page here. There's also a main menu going on, which we've talked about. If we go to the bottom, we should have a footer menu that we can also work with. Within this area would be the drop down menu. What about all these other sections? The home page is often made up of concepts like call to actions, sections with 2 or 3 or 4 different links going on. And they don't look like hyperlinks, but they definitely are. And this is the area that we now want to consider and map out as part of the sitemap. Looking at the sections that we want to put onto the home page, the first thing to think about is that most home pages start with a hero section, and that doesn't necessarily relate directly to any of the pages we've got here. We'll just add hero to the home page, and this might be an area I put my mission, it might be some other sort of tagline or call to action. So after the hero, there'll be more sections. So I've just put in a 1 and a 2 for now. And the way a section should look is depending on the shape of the data. So if I had 3 courses, one for ChatGPT, one for OpenAI API, and another one for GPT agents, then the section would probably be 3 squares across the screen. That could just hold 3 different courses. Then if we move down and say select the products, the services and my pet projects, they might go into section 2. And so on the left could be products, in the middle could be services, on the right, I probably wouldn't call it pet projects there, so we'll just go with projects, even though the page it goes to might be pet projects. I've added a couple more sections, and I think for resources, which is stuff like affiliate products that I might be marketing, I don't think they have any purpose being on the home page, so we'll just remove it. The word blog, that'll be in the main menu, but from a section point of view, that might just be called latest news or latest articles, something like that. So we can just remove that from there. The store, it's debatable whether I need that because we do have products. That should be okay. And then we've got our last section that might be contact and something about who I am. To close off this section, we're going to have a hero with some sort of mission statement or tagline. We'll have 3 courses listed in a section, maybe a book a call. Then we'll have a 3 column that's showing products, services and projects, another book a call, and then just the latest 3 articles, followed by a contact, about and footer at the bottom. The other thing that we've set up here, being the master footer menu and drop down menu, is what we'll go and set up. Maintaining your menus is pretty simple. We can leave pages and head off to navigation. Here you'll have access to 4 different default menus. We've got a main menu, a footer that doesn't currently have anything in it, a member menu, which is the drop down, and the about and contact menu. We'll look at why we have this one, and we have a main menu in a moment. The other area to be aware of is that you can go and create new custom menus either by clicking this button or this button right here. To understand the different default menus that we have here, let's go and have a look at our page design. Now the page design is made up of elements or blocks, and if we click on this particular one which says store and my library, we can see over on the left that there's a menu and it's linked up to the main menu. If we move over to the right, this is not main menu, but this is a different menu altogether called About and Contact. We might be thinking, what's the footer going to be? Is there going to be a footer menu? And if we scroll to the bottom and we click down here, we see it's back to the main menu again. So what they've done is they've created this reusable menu that can be used at either the heading or in the footer, but that's not really the way I want to work with things today. What we'll be doing is removing this menu altogether and transferring information, if needed, into a footer menu, and then redefining this menu with everything that we need. Let's work on the main menu here, and we can start off by bringing up our mind map, and we've got master menu here with courses, products, services, and blog. Neither store or my menu are part of that, so what we can do is we can just click on here and delete the menu item, and we'll do it for both of them. We come down and we add a page in this particular case, and we can type in the page we want or just scroll down and we'll look for courses and visible to logged in users only. That's not the case. I want this visible to everyone, so we can just hit save here. Now let's just do that for the other 3 pages. Looking back at our navigation items, we have the main menu with 2 items in it, and we will be adding to this in a moment. The footer doesn't currently have any menu items. We will add to that. There is a member menu, which we're not going to change at the moment. That's the drop down. And at the bottom, the About and Contact menu, we're not going to remove anything here. Instead, we will go over to the page and remove the menu in that location. With the 4 menus in our main menu, we can go over to the pages, click on the home, and when we're in here, you'll see now that the 4 menu items are listed here. If we click on the preview button, we'll be taken to the website and we can click through to each of the pages. Main menu looks to be working quite fine. And there's also these About and Contact. I think it's time to remove them. Coming back to our page design, we can go over to this element. When we click on it, this will change and there'll be delete block. We'll click on that. One of the things to note is that when you click the preview, nothing has changed. And the reason for that is that we need to come back and click save as well. So we click on the save, then follow it up with the preview, and hopefully these 2 will disappear. They're gone. And at the moment, the main menu is also showing in the footer, so if we go down to the bottom, we'll have them all listed here. Let's next look at how we want to do the footer. To create the menu for the footer, we'll come down, we'll add a page. For now, we'll just start with a sample. We'll go with resource and click save. Heading into our design, we go down to the bottom and we'll just click here and we go, why is it not showing the footer? It's because it's still linked to the main menu. If we click here and we press footer, we should see resources, and there they are. Now, if we click on our preview button, we're hoping to see the word resources at the bottom, and we don't. That's because we've forgotten to save it. So click save first, and then click on the preview button, and this should change to resources, and there it is. Now, our footer menu had 5 different items in it, from pet projects all the way through to store. At the moment, we've got resources. What we can do here is click on it and delete it. So that's now going to be removed from the system, at which point we can just start adding in our pages. I'll just type pet and it should pop up. There it is. We hit save, and then I just repeat this 4 more times. We come back to our design. We may need to press the refresh button, and we get to the bottom. We've got 5 items. Let's head over to our preview and test out the menus. So we've got our courses, products. We'll click on services. Our blog is not set up. Let's see what happens there. Page not found. That's fine. We'll go to the bottom. We'll look at pet projects. They're working okay. Resources. I did not change the heading on this one. We'll click on contact and about. Store. One last menu to be aware of, powered by Kajabi. We can turn this off in settings, but if you keep it, it will include your affiliate code if you're on the growth plan or higher. That's down here with affiliate programs. I'm going to leave that menu in place. We can also go to the top and click on this area where we've got access to my library, settings, and log out. We haven't gone over that yet. We'll look into that a bit later. So far, we've selected a template and then gone into ChatGPT. We've started a GPT for Kajabi, and that'll help us navigate and use Kajabi more effectively, as well as we go through the series developing better content and branding for the site. We also went on to develop the sitemap, the navigation, and put the first set of pages in place. If you want access to the original GPT or any other resources, click the link in the description below. In the next episode, we'll be building out the homepage and additional content. So remember to like and subscribe. I'm AppyDave. Thank you for watching.